The countdown is on. Less than 30 days to Sleep Summit 2025. We have a record number of retailers that are currently registered. We have an all-star lineup of speakers, and you are wanted in Bentonville, Arkansas, October 14th through the 17th. Do not wait. This is our third annual Sleep Summit event. And if you're a retailer, you can get a secret code right now to get an exclusive discount off a VIP ticket. So just reach out to me. You can hit us up on LinkedIn. You can email mark@thefam.com, or you can text us on our podium number. So today we're going to dig into a little bit of a preview, because at Nationwide Primetime, where I spoke about AI to the brand builders, shout out to Nationwide and the amazing team doing great work there. We actually walked around the hallways and said, hey, what's the number one business challenge that you're facing today? So we're going to dig into that, which is going to be something we dig deeper into during Sleep Summit 2025. The FAM podcast starts right now. For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep, crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel. It's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/fam. Podium, because speed wins sales.
Welcome to the FAM podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Hey fam, it should be a national holiday. You know why? Because many of you know Tara Kinsley, and she's my amazing wife, our director of events for the FAM, and sometimes my co-host here on the FAM podcast. And today is her birthday. So Tara, happy birthday to you. Tara actually celebrates a birthday month, so the celebration has been going on for a while. But happy birthday, Tara. I love you. Hope you're having a great day. I am with you, obviously, but I'm not with you right now because I'm recording this. But her and Jax are going to celebrate. So hit her up on LinkedIn or on Facebook or Instagram and tell Tara happy birthday. And so you're going to meet Tara. Many of you know Tara that have come to our events like Dream Camp and Sleep Summit. So we hope that you are going to come to Sleep Summit. We have a record number of retailers already signed up, and it's our third year, and I couldn't be more excited. So one of the things we wanted to do was level set on the realities of the economy versus the noise in the media. And as many of you know, if you've studied media, if you've studied mass communication, like I have, I mean, that was my bachelor's and my master's degree, and we dug in a lot into the effects of media on the brain and how people perceive the world. And it's been widely shown that if you watch too much news, basically you develop something called mean world syndrome. And yeah, there's a lot of crazy bad stuff that's been happening lately that's very sad and horrific. But ultimately, the news is not reality, because the news is designed to do one job for the most part. It's get you to pay attention so they can serve up ads. And the way that you pay attention is basically showing something that people would be scared of. And so, because that's the most arresting thing that happens in somebody's field of view. Like if you're scared of it, used to say, if it bleeds, it leads. That's the whole mentality of the media. And so you'd sort of develop this worldview that things are horrible and things are not going well and things are getting worse and worse. And so maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. But from an economic standpoint, we wanted to ground ourselves in the realities of the economy and separate that from the noise of the media and the social feeds and things like that. And that's why we're bringing in Dr. Chris Keel. He is incredible. I heard him speak. He was funny, engaging. He talked about basically things that happen in the economy, such as this big rush to buy gold that threw off all these signals that weren't representative of what was actually happening in the economy. And so Dr. Chris Keel is coming in and he's going to help us level set on where are we? Am I normal? What's likely going to happen in the upcoming year? And he consults with some of the biggest and best companies and associations all over the United States and beyond. And so we couldn't be more excited. But in advance of that, we wanted to ask people, hey, what is the number one challenge or the number one area of focus in your business right now? So I'm going to play some of the clips, and I want to give a big shout out to everybody at Nationwide Marketing Group who let us roll up on them with a camera to share their thoughts about the number one challenge or the number one focus in their business right now. And just know, as you listen to this, we are going to go deep on these topics, these challenges, these opportunities at Sleep Summit, because we always try to create an environment where you walk away with action paths and not dead ends. So let's hear it from the people.
The economy, where the economy's at right now, obviously the uncertainty, all the news stories that come out, you hear tariffs and you hear this, which is why we try to focus everything that we have in our store as American-based supplied, American-made, American-ran companies.
Gone from a duopoly to a monopoly. We've got a lot of power concentrated in the industry leader, and I think the problem is, go back to all the years of all the voices communicating mattresses in, to the consumer, and now you've got one voice that's screaming alone, and it doesn't help us. And it doesn't help that that company is very powerful, but it also doesn't help the fact that category awareness is declining because you don't have as many voices trying to get consumers involved in the game.
But definitely a concern is obviously you've got the TSI Mattress Firm thing going around. We've always tried to make sure no brand has control of our floor more than the other. So as everybody else has, we've gotten a little too comfortable with TSI probably. So they're somewhere between 45 and 55% of our floors.
It's not going to matter if door turns are up 10% or down 10%. If you're able to maximize and give each customer the best experience possible, we've actually shown that we're seeing an uptick in our overall business.
There's a large manufacturer vendor who's coined the frame the mattress recession that we've been going through for the last several years, and I think there's a real truth to that.
Learning how to run a business. I'm a couple months into this, so just everything from leading a team to what does it mean that we got tariffs coming? What is freight going up?
I've had a couple of setbacks, one of which being a tornado, having destroyed one of our sales locations.
My prediction is that the race to the bottom is going to be the bottom. And if you must focus in that mid-high tier category, and then if you continue to focus in that, people that want to invest in those high-quality products, regardless how much shopping they do online, if there is a store nearby, people want to go out and touch and feel. People are striving for that relationship and to trust somebody to buy something from, whether it's a cup of coffee at Starbucks or it's in your mattress or furniture store.
I think we have an epidemic that we can overcome where the sales associate doesn't feel like this is a career. We want to attract top talent, we want to keep top talent, we want to engage them and let them be the star of their show in front of their family and friends. Gone are the days where we just take anybody. We want to recruit those talented people and then develop them so that they can lift our industry.
A lot of different perspective there. So let's do a quick recap. We covered everything from the economy and uncertainty, which we're certainly going to address with Dr. Chris Keel. And we talked to several people who mentioned TSI and Mattress Firm. With TSI purchasing Mattress Firm and those companies becoming one entity, you do have a lot of power concentrated in one company. And Mike Magnuson at one point did the math to break down essentially what the effects were from a dollar and a unit standpoint. And essentially, the highlight is about 75% of all mattresses made and or sold in the US, that was going to be run through the TSI Mattress Firm entity. And think about that. The numbers used to be about 20% of all mattresses in the United States were sold through Mattress Firm. And so now you extend, you pull out and you look at the manufacturer that makes products like Sealy and Stearns & Foster and Tempur-Pedic And of course, they own most of the Sherwood business, dealing with lower end product or more value priced product. And so now those tentacles of distribution and product distribution go well outside of the Mattress Firm walls. And like you heard from Ty Cunningham there from the bed store in Kentucky, about half of their floor is TSI product. And so there's a lot of concern with that one voice and its ability to capture mind share, promote category awareness, and just not having as many people in the choir anymore, singing from the same hymnal, which is, hey, people come in, get better sleep, get a better mattress. And so there's a lot of concern around that. And we're going to be talking about that live at Sleep Summit 2025. So I want you to be in the room. The experience, you heard Ryan Bailey from Mattress World Northwest there. And he was talking about, hey, we're pretty much just like controlling our controllables. And the experience that we deliver to customers, that's something that we can control. And when we do that, we've been shown that our business will increase. And this is what I heard up and down the halls. And I've heard it in my back channel conversations over and over again. There is a wide range of business outcomes that are happening at the moment. And what I mean by that is some people are up and some people are down. But I talk to more people, and maybe it's the circle I travel in, which is filled with A players and really badass business people. They're doing pretty well. Somebody mentioned a mattress recession. We talked about, over at Happy Z's, Jordan is just now running a business for the first time. So he's trying to learn everything. Well, good news. We have tons and tons of resources at Sleep Summit for people that are learning about the mattress business, going through mattress boot camp, want to understand more about financing and tools and technology, the future of retail, the state of the economy, the recipe that Jason Goodman is going to be talking about for same store margin dollar growth. He's with City Mattress. He's speaking at Sleep Summit 2025, and he's got a great fishbone diagram he's going to show you on how to actually grow your business. And he worked with Steve Stagner, the former CEO of Mattress Firm, and this is what they talked about to Wall Street when they were going to go public. So you don't want to miss some of these frameworks and these tools and these tips and tricks that you can package up and apply in your business. And we heard the race to the bottom. Oh my gosh, that's a huge topic right now. Leggett & Platt just came out with basically a burn report where they gathered up a lot of imported mattresses and they sent them through burn testing, and many of them failed. And that's how you make something very, very cheap in commodity is you cut corners and you don't follow the rules to the point that you're supposed to. And you end up with a mattress that fails burn testing and becomes not only a danger potentially to the consumer, but also another sour signal that we're sending out to the universe from the mattress world that says, yeah, we can't be trusted. And that's the last thing we need are more bad actors and more cheap mattresses that are filling landfills, that are pumping chemicals into people's bedrooms. And then on top of that, if they do catch fire, they're going to burn. That's not what they're supposed to do. And so I think we as an industry need to champion avoiding this race to the bottom like Keith Moneymaker was talking about. Thank you, Keith, for that thought. But the race to the bottom is the bottom. I mean, once you find it, you're there. And how do you compete against Amazon? How do you compete against these commodity players that are shipping in mattresses that fail burn tests? Well, absent of value, people make a decision on price. And I saw a few articles floating around Bedding News Now. Shout out to Alex and Dave Perry and that crew over there. They were talking about people that buy these Amazon mattresses and these cheapo depots. They don't expect them to last. So essentially what they're saying is we are willing to buy trash. We are willing to buy trash that just goes through the crapification process in our home for the next 2 to 4 years before we kick it to the curb and we spray paint it with nothing really mattress. That's what they're willing to do. And, that's such incongruent behavior too, because when you give people an expectation to live up to, or you find out about their core values, how many people actually care about getting rid of microplastics in their body or going to glass and metal instead of using plastic water bottles? Lots of people do. And those are the same people in many cases that are buying those POS mattresses that they're going to toss out. And if they only knew the environmental impact that has, maybe it would do something to them. So absent of value, people make a decision on price. Yeah, budgets can be tight. There can be constraints on the wallet. Our job is to build value in everything we do. And if we can do that, if you can really put it under the microscope and get your story tight, you're going to have a much better chance of attracting that right fit consumer and also just elevating the importance of the mattress in relation to sleep. And then Greg Law with Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture there at the very end was talking about this epidemic of having RSAs see this industry as a career and not just a stop along the way. Like We don't want it to be wait for your get out of jail free card. We don't want to send them around that monopoly board and put them in jail. We want this to be seen as a career. And there's nobody better at doing this, I think, in my experience, than there are many people great at doing this, but Greg and Katie Law and the Dream Team do fantastic because they make their team members the hero of their story in front of their friends and family and their community. And I remember being in the room at Nationwide, and they did a great presentation, and we did a podcast on this previously. Go back and listen to the podcast I did with the birthday girl, Tara. And we were just blown away that, and many people were in the room, that they put their team members, their sales associates, and many folks within their organization on camera and empower them to go make content and to go be the stars of the show and to be this cast of characters. And, when you do that, you're more than just somebody that HR has to deal with and maybe fill that slot next week. You're part of something bigger. You're part of your community. You're part of a family, and you're part of a mission to help people get furniture and mattresses and those things that go in the most intimate and safest spaces on the planet. And people want to be a part of it. Culture is what you create or what you tolerate. And on that note, we did ask not everyone, but most people we saw in the hallway, hey, describe as vividly as possible your company culture. As vividly as possible, your company culture. And the reason I want to play this for you is I want you to hear what people said. And I also want you to get ready for Russ Robertson. Russ Robertson was an early employee at Walmart. He still has the record today for as the manager over a Sam's Club for the highest grossing sales in a year. And he worked directly with Sam Walton. How many people are left that worked with Sam Walton? He's going to be on stage at Sleep Summit 2025. A guy that worked with Sam Walton, that saw the culture and saw the execution and saw the business building that Sam and the entire executive team put behind the largest business in the world, which is Walmart. It's such a rare opportunity. So I want you to be there because culture is what you create or what you tolerate. Culture is what you create or what you tolerate. And when you're intentional about it, you can create a culture, not unlike the Dream Team, where people not only want to stay, they want to be there. They're going to beat down your door to work with you. Here's what people said when I asked, describe as vividly as possible your company culture.
For the longest time, I was trying to figure out what exactly my company culture was. I could never put things into words. So, but we always live this certain way. We were problem solvers. We were wanting to help people. Our company culture is a very proactive, perspective, empathetic, which are our company values, mindset. And that's just helping people solve their problems.
We go over our values with everybody on our team all the time. They are not just a sign on the wall. It's who we are and what we all believe in.
The first word is fun. The Dream Team is fun. We're all doing it together. It's not about one or two people, it's about all of us.
We recruit with our values. We go over those in the interview process. We go over them in the onboarding process. We go over them all the time in our meetings. So everybody knows what we stand for and they want to be a part of it.
And we have a little recipe. It's work hard, play hard, serve others, and grow.
Our company culture to me is having fun, being family oriented, serving others in our community.
Very service oriented, very family oriented and community. We just love on our customers and go out into our community as much as possible.
I mean, we take pride in working hard, but if it feels like a grind, we gotta stop, we gotta throw a party. We gotta do something fun. We gotta serve others so that we're serving the greater good with our business. And we gotta stop and we gotta grow and we gotta sharpen that saw. That's what we do.
Mission statement is that we exist to glorify God by serving people.
We do have core values, which is something that we look at on so many different levels, and not even just with our employees, but it's even something that we look to outside with our retailers and our vendor partners.
Company culture is fun, high energy, high integrity, and man, we just have a good time every day.
Hungry, humble, curious, and clever.
We have what we call TUCK, T-U-C-K, kind of blends in with all of our advertising for a long time now, stands for thoughtfulness, understanding, compassionate, and knowledge. Obviously that's an outward to our customer, but we've really taken it on as a team, just something that holds us accountable.
Company culture is one of intense accountability. We've got a whole bunch of people that are really professional about what they do and take ownership of everything down to the lowest level. We always say if a hole needs dug, everybody grabs a shovel.
I've always loved that about you, Derek Ritzel. If a hole needs dug, everybody grabs a shovel. What did you hear in those sentiments? I'll tell you what I heard. And thank you very much to Greg and Katie Law, Keith Moneymaker, to Riley, to Holly, to Jordan, to Ty, to Derek Ritzel there at the very end for talking to us about culture. I heard a lot of words. I heard fun and family and service. I heard accountability. And then you zoom out and you hear the word values. And I think that was an important thing. Keith Moneymaker even started off. He's like, we had this feeling about who we are, but I had a hard time putting it into words. And I think that's a critical piece of the puzzle whenever it comes to defining your company culture is what do you value? What do we stand for? What are those non-negotiables? And then that's why people do mission, vision, values. You define your mission, put your vision together, and you have your values. And like Katie talked about, we recruit around our values. We reinforce our values in our one-on-one meetings and our team meetings. We just live our life and operate our business around our values. And I love, by the way, how many people said fun. I'm so glad that retailers and manufacturers and people in this industry like to have a good time, because that's so important. Because yeah, when you're grinding it out, you're working hard, and you're doing a great job, gosh, you need a little bit of variety on this roller coaster ride. You need some fun in there. And that's why even like in my private AI courses I teach with executives, I'm like, okay, let's pause. Let's have a little fun with AI. Here's how you can make like DJ your own music or make your own songs. And so I love so many people are having fun. How would you define your company culture? Well, if you haven't done that, you're going to get some really great inputs from Russ Robertson and others at Sleep Summit, because whenever it comes down to it, if your culture is not defined, I firmly believe that somebody or someone or something will define it. But when you've defined your culture, you can always anchor yourself back in that perspective to reorient yourself around any business challenge or any business opportunity so that you are being intentional. You're controlling your controllables, and you're creating support and accountability around the areas that matter most for you and your business. So thank you, everybody, for hopping on camera with me, talking about challenges, talking about culture. And we can't wait to see you at Sleep Summit 2025. Don't wait. Go to thefam.com. Get your tickets. A record number of retailers already registered. It is a busy month in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas, because lots of cycling events are happening, and it's one of the most beautiful months out of the year. And by the way, on that note, so after Sleep Summit, if you want to stick around, I'm doing a hosted it's a hosted bike ride for anybody that wants to hop on an e-bike or a mountain bike and go with me on the trails I bang around on every week. So I live here, as many of you know, because I love the mountain bike. And I want to take you out to enjoy the beautiful scenery, the purpose-built trails, all the hills and hollers in Arkansas here. And if you hop on an e-bike, it's just such a great way to see the countryside and keep up with the guys like Mark Desjardins from Avocado, who's also going to be leading a group ride at 4:15 on Thursday after Sleep Summit wraps up, in between Sleep Summit and our wrap party with the 90s country band and two really big fun surprises that you're going to have to be here to see. All right, so that's it for the pod today. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Can't wait to see you at Sleep Summit. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about culture. We're going to be talking about financing and tools and tips and tricks, from how to maximize agents with Podium, the amazing and sometimes lovingly controversial Eugene Aletto, the CEO of Bedgear, is going to be talking about the future of retail. What do people really want? And I got to tell you, every time I walk into that Bedgear showroom, I am blown away, just literally every time. So it's like, I want to shop in this store. So I can't wait to put you in the room with the right people. Grab your VIP ticket. Like I said, reach out to me because I have a special deal. It's actually $400 off for retailers only. And we'll get you in that private Q&A with Russ Robertson, who worked with Sam Walton. So in between now and then, enjoy yourselves. Let's raise a glass to the amazing Tara Kinsley. Happy birthday. And we'll see you back here every week on the FAM Podcast.